Hello everybody and welcome back to another Sketchbook Tour. If you're new here, my name is Noah and I'm an artist from the Netherlands. Today I would like to inspire you to make art by showing you this A4 sketchbook I got from the second-hand store for only 150 euros. So on the cover you see a dog and I filled it in with Posca markers. It was just playing around with shapes and like patterns. And on top I've colored it with colored pencil. So here on the left you see a painting that I did in the middle of 2025, but I started this sketchbook somewhere in the beginning of 2025 and I finished it in January of 2026. But yeah, this painting I did way later. I Most of the time I begin with sketching and later I paint the front and the back. But it's a self-portrait. It's not a pretty one, but it is a self-portrait. Here you see some time sketches of some knights. They're fighting and there will be a couple more. And here on the right bottom you see a sketch of myself when I was younger. This is from a timed sketch practice session with Posca markers of bunnies. And here on the right you see a drawing I did not do myself. It was still in the book, in this sketchbook when I bought it. And I left it in there and I put the 150 euro sign. I put it in there. Another timed sketch drawing session but with oils and painting woman. Some more nights. Another sketch of me when I was younger. Bunny timed sketches, night. I really like this one with the hood over his head. Another oil woman. Some more night sketches. A bunny, also in Posca. Quite like this one lying down. And here some transfer paper. I used to transfer it to a wood block and I made a woodcut out of this one. And I tried to print it, but it was not very good. But good practice. And I drew under it so you can see the shapes. Some writing about things I like, my dog, feathers, wings, pancakes, animals, nice colors, flowers, fantasy figures, manga, anime. Another bunny. And here on the right, some face thingy I saw in the museum and copied it. Quite like this one. Another bunny. Some cactus from when I went to Mexico. Some composition quick sketches of poses from women in dresses I find on the internet with pen, pink pen. Here, a study with me session, dogs with pen, and I will show the book on the screen I used to make this one, and one done in charcoal on the right. Another timed sketches, but from bikes. More timed sketches, figure poses. Lots of poses. Really like the pointing woman. Acrylic paint. Bananas in a weird composition. Just a quick experiment and having fun. That day I drew a lot of bananas in different sketchbooks, so maybe if you watch other sketchbook videos you will find some more bananas. Another timed sketches session with cows. An abstract work done with acrylic paint and some crayons. Ah, here was the wood print, the woodcut I talked about. This is how the print turned out. Not really good, but you can see still the lines and what it was supposed to be. And here on the right, some experimenting with markers with different colors. And I quite like this one. I made a screen print out of this one with different colors. Here another transfer paper, and I use this one for making a lithography, so a stone printing. Also didn't turn out very good, and I think I would like to use this sketch maybe sometime for something different, because I really like the sketch of the nose of the dog with the eyes. On the right, another flower plant in a vase with markers. And here you see one of the stone printing. How it turned out, it's not bad, but you see that it's not it printed not very well. Still learning. More markers. Really like this composition, and I still want to make a screen printing out of this one. Some abstract thingy. Experimenting. Yes. The easiest way to say it. And on the right, some still life with a window, a table with some chairs, and then you see the sunlight. A flower, and on the right, the inner piece of the apple. And what is art with a question mark in Dutch. And then some ideas I never did. Some geese. Also a stone print made of this one. And on the right, a candle in a vase and done with pen. And I quite like this one. It's one of my favorites, I think, in its sketchbook. And I'm also still planning on making a screen print out of this one. The other side of the geese one. Some sketches of my dog. I quite like quick sketches because she moves quite a lot. And one below is of my dog sleeping, and I made a painting out of this one. Some more parts of the stone printing, things didn't work out, and then I cut it up and put it in my sketchbook. More plant sketching with light and composition. This is a self-portrait. I'm really happy about this one. Also still thinking about making a painting from this one. But I really like the lines. Like the thickness and the thin lines and how the composition. Still looking straight at my nose, but I think it's a fun one. Another plant. And times cow sketch. More plants. It's like an adventure landscape from some video games, but it's just plants from a pot we have at home. Another timed cow. More plants from the garden. Another cow. Some 15 seconds poses. Quite like this one. I really like the first two. Maybe I'm gonna do something with those. They look fun. This was from a modeling class at school. And on the right some more 30 seconds, 45 seconds and 1 minute poses. I quite like this one. I think it's very pretty. This is me and my classmates when we were at the museum. Someone took a picture and I draw the picture or sketch the picture in here. And with this sketch I didn't look at proportions and things like that. I was just putting pen to paper and drawing. More timed sketches of a model. These are a lot of sketches of horses. It's from the Art Hang Party by Melissa Martin. I will leave a link down below to her videos because I quite like them, and from time to time I will do them. And these are all 1 minute horses. More 1 minute horses, and on the left a really old drawing I put in this sketchbook. And collage I did when I was younger, I also put in here. And on the right some more horses. a drawing of the collage I did on the previous page, and I never did something with it, but I remember having fun doing this. And on the right, some more horses. This is from my atomic class, a print that was left and I put it in here. And on the right, more horses. The other part of the atomic drawing, and on the right, some shapes, just drawing forms. I think these are part of a computer on the back. Here on the left you see a vulture sketch I did, and I made a woodcut out of it, and I quite love that woodcut, and I just really like it. I think the colors are great and the layers look beautiful, and yeah, really like that one. And on the right you see a sketch of my dog. Some more art I did when I was younger of flowers, and on the right some IDs and a lady with a mask. And from this lady with a mask I did a screen printing. So more art from when I was younger with not with flowers, with leaves. And on the right an abstract artwork. Another leaf, and quite a few thumbnail sketches with ideas. I think I have made one of them. Yes, a landscape one, and the rest. Maybe I will make them, maybe not. Some notes from a lesson online. Charles Who, and drawing of a hare, another hare, and some composition sketches. A quote from Andy Warhol. I'm quite a big Andy Warhol fan. Don't think about making art, just get it done. Let everyone else decide if it's good or bad, whether they love it or hate it. While they are deciding, make even more art. I think it's a great quote. Some other birds, big birds, with quite the abstract forms and shapes, really focusing on the shapes. And I think I saw this on a walk, and these were wooden sculptures, and I quite copied them and enhanced them the way I would like them. Here are some studies, 3 composition studies, 1 value study and 1 color study done in watercolor, but this paper is not the best for that, and I quite like this page. Another old artwork, And I think it's supposed to be Katniss Everdeen, the girl on fire. And on the right, a sketch of the dog Elmo. Some abstract weird words. It's supposed to be my name. N-O-A-H. And some abstract forming shapes with Posca marker, I don't know. Some flowers. Because when I'm stuck, sometimes it's easier to draw just random things and not focus on proportions or things like that of good ideas, but just draw. Some notes from a YouTube video, from the Lightbox Expo. Some notes, a lot of notes, few pages of notes. But on the right is a sketch from my model class with the model sitting on a chair. More notes and the same model as the previous page, but now a close-up. Quick sketches. More notes, and on the right, two still lifes. This is a landscape. I did also timed landscapes. This is a forest one. I think this one is my least favorite, but there will be a few more. On the right, timed sketch 3 minutes of strawberries. The living room. Another timed sketch of an ocean landscape, and I quite like these ocean landscape. There are a few more in this sketchbook, and I'm still thinking about doing something with them, but I don't know what yet. But I will figure it out. And here another timed sketch of a coat rack. And here on the right another coat rack. And on the left another fourth timed sketch. Some more notes from some lessons of Sam Drucker. More notes, a lot of notes. Another time sketch, but then with cars. And on the right is from a model painting class, a few sketches. This was at another art class, but this was about having fun and thinking about what you want to do as an artist. And this was when we sat outside in the sun and sketched some boats. Another car, and this was on the same day as sketching outside the boats. Some more random things. This is supposed to be a bird, a bike, someone on a canoe. Another car sketch. Some names of people, of artists. Another candle in a glass with a newspaper beneath it. a person with a goat on their head, another car, and a goat. I quite like this goat. I made 2 screen printings of this goat, one in black and one in white, and I really like them. A sketch of a bird done in charcoal, and on the right a sketch with pencil done for my modeling class. More birds. You can see the birds transferred on the other page, but it's okay. It's a sketchbook. This is a drawing of 2 people. It's from a clock I saw at the second-hand store, and I think it's funny. This is a dolphin. It's from a timed sketch session, and on the right a dog, my dog. It's a bit abstract, but I quite like this one. So more birds, and on the right Momo. It's from this anime, the Apotheker's Diaries. I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but I will put the name on the screen if you want to look it up. I really like this anime. So more part of birds. Yashi, also from the anime, the Apothecary Diaries. Horrible pronunciation, but we move on. On the other side, some more dolphins. And here some still life. I quite like this still life. Maybe I'm gonna do something with it someday. More dolphins, more still life of eggs. Also quite like this sketch of the eggs. More dolphins, more still life. From apple, I quite like the composition that this apple is higher on the page. Maybe gonna do something still with that. Another dolphin and a still life of a banana, and I'm not gonna do anything with this banana because I do not like this banana very much. But practice makes you better. So another dolphin, quite like this dolphin. And on the right some ducks. Quite quick sketches, I can see 2 ducks. Another dolphin sketch, and here on the right is a quick study of a vase with flowers, and I made a painting out of this one, and it's currently hanging somewhere at an exhibition, so that's quite cool. Another dolphin, Uruguay from Kung Fu Panda. Another dolphin. Some timed sketches from the art hang party done with crayons. More dolphin. More crayon. Quite like this one. More dolphin. More crayon. And I also quite like this one. It's like the Phantom of the Opera scene a little bit. And they're quite quick sketches, but I really like the lines. Maybe it's also the color. I like this color purple. Another dolphin, only with softer lines. I think it was my first dolphin of the day. And on the right, some more opera sketches. Another dolphin. Another opera scene from the art hang party. And this is a flower. It's a stone print, a litho, but it's a bad one, so I put it in my sketchbook. And on the top there stands, all you need is the audacity to suck at something new and the stubbornness to keep sucking until you don't and you can do anything in life. And I think that's quite true. Another crayon sketch from the opera, but quite more abstract. Another dolphin drawing. And I was somewhere and I saw this mask and I drew parts of that mask with the feathers and the eyes, and I quite like this one. I did it in a pencil. Another dolphin sketch. And on the right some pigeons with a pigeon home, but the perspective is horrible. So yeah, not my best one, but I quite like the pigeons. Another dolphin sketch and a woman done with pencil, and I think this woman looks okay. More dolphins. A rat lying there looking at you, done with pen. An old sketch from a commission I had, I never finished, but it's okay because it's from the family and I made something different for them. And on the right was a duck, and it was when I was on a boat with my family and we had a good time that day. And I quite liked the duck. And I done it with markers. And I quite also like the water, how it shows this one. Another old, very old sketch I put in here. And on the right, woman. I think it's a very bad drawing. But sometimes you have to have good days and bad days. And this was quite a bad one. But then it's out of the way and you can make lots of other nicer things. This is a sketch of a hair I did, and it was for an open call, but I never finished it and I never sent it, and I made something else, I think. But on the top there stands, trees that are slow to grow bear the best fruit. Another very nice quote. I like to put those quotes sometimes in my sketchbook to remind me that it's all gonna be okay. Life is gonna be okay. And on the right, some abstract forms of berries and leaves. And almost to the last page, but these are some windmills and thumbnail sketches, ideas I had in composition studies. Yes. And on one of the last pages stands, love is the flower you've got to let grow. And more flowers I did when I was younger. And on the right, my last page, a painting of geese and done with acrylic, and I put some oil sticks on top, and I quite like this one. I think my black lines are maybe too thick on the first one, but I like the background and how it looks. So this was this sketchbook. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got a little bit of inspiration out of it, and I hope to see you at the next sketchbook tour. Bye!